question?
Yes.
It's the same question, actually. For example, something stresses me out.
Yeah.
For example, this carpet on the floor.
Yeah.
But actually, my problem is not this carpet. So if I start the IBC about the carpet, how will it bring me to my actual problem? My first IBC, like I would say, oh, this carpet stresses me out. My stress level is 10, for example. How will this bring me to this, first problem, which causes this stressing out?
Well, because as you answer the questions, you will make associations about past experiences. You will make associations with images. You will make associations with emotions. And this will allow you, for different parts of yourself, to go deeper. Because of how you will answer the question. So if you're starting IBC, I would really recommend that you use an internet coach or somebody experienced, so they can really listen to you. Because one of the trainings that we do, we have immersions. We've been doing immersions here in Switzerland, which is a year-long program. Many of you know, all of you maybe. And we're gonna start one again, but it's about truly inhabiting that experience in yourself. So when you're guided by a facilitator, they would give you the answer. They will ask the questions in a way that you can, and hold the space in a way that you can really start to listen to yourself.
That means somebody else will recognize my problem.
No, that means that you will listen to yourself. And your images.
Why do I
and
need
your
a coach
emotions.
then?
You need a coach because you need somebody to hold the space for you, so you can actually listen to ourselves. Because in truth, we very rarely listen to ourselves deeply. You need a facilitator. You need to train to have to experience a philosophical, more experiential way of being in the world that is not just the fast mind answering. That can slow the energy down for you, so you can create space to connect.
Yeah.
See, the dog now even relaxing.
No, because as I observe sometimes if you're angry or I'm angry or I don't find something immediately or I lost something, so I sit down and I wait 5 minutes and then I listen how could it be, where could it be, and often it gives me the solution in 5 minutes without I go, yes, it's like this.
To find out what's the problem.
Yeah, exactly. Or where I lost something and I don't find it immediately, and then it gives me the answer. Could be like this, yes. And this I had a very character, like wow, I went in. When I didn't find something immediately, I was angry, or I had to learn this one very much, for example.
Yeah, and also anger and angry parts allow us to. Anger generally is linked to some other trauma when we were younger.
Yeah.
And we think, oh yes, I'm angry because so and so did this, but in truth, it has to do with something we're very scared of, that we need to go deeper and deeper in. Anger is the most rebellious form of fear. No matter what you get angry at, it could be the simplest thing.
I recognized something while you were speaking. I was like, and when you were speaking about love, I was like, where I was feeling no fear. It was like when my mother was there. And I thought about my children, what they feel when I'm there. And then I recognized, I don't know, I recognize that I should be actually a mother to myself. I should be, this is what you were talking about maybe, I don't know. I should be that safe space
For you.
for me.
Yeah.
And
And are
that's
you?
when, I did this association with this big mother love, and I thought that's what I should become for myself.
And yes, and what I would say next is that that's a wonderful wish. How are you gonna do that?
I must start to love myself like my mother loved me.
Yes, but it's
Yeah.
really good.
But
The inner child, yes, if the inner child has to be.
Yes.
Yeah, but I was never understanding this inner child, why this inner child was there.
But this means
what
also
am
the
I?
mother, like you care
The
about
parts.
yourself.
Yeah.
But now I understood that I should love myself like my mother loved me. And I should be like, I should discipline myself like my mother disciplined me. I should protect myself like my mother protected me. I should do everything for myself.
Yes,
Actually.
the only thing is that when you shoot yourself to death, are you being kind? Because if you're
Mhm.
not being that mother to yourself, it's for a reason. So do you think that just telling yourself you should is gonna make it happen?
No, not I should. I just found this kind of, I understood what kind of love the self-love is.
Yes, and
You
the
understand?
point is, yes, and the point is that we all have wonderful phrases like that. But if you haven't given it to yourself, there's a reason.
I didn't know what to give myself. Now I know.
Okay, well then go ahead and give it. And if you
Yeah.
can't give it to yourself fully, you can go deeper.
No, because the mother is only symbol for everything. And it could be the father, the mother, and like this, the Christianity says the God is the father. I mean, this the father means it's a symbol for this love. It doesn't
But I
mean-
think you've been
yeah.
your actual mother.
Yeah, because my
Or
mother
mother
was
or
the most
father
wonderful
doesn't
mother,
matter.
so that's why I know what that is, you know?
Yeah.
The love like it should be, you know?
Yeah.
That's why. But somebody who is not able to be, for example, a mother to their children, mother, of course, the person will not know what kind of love this is. Probably the person should search somewhere else.
Well, yeah, I don't know about other people, but I know that I'm interested in seeing if you can do that right away, and if you can't, then you can explore.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
What I found very interesting was this question, who is answering? And we were working about the inner parts very much, and and the genuinity, that question also, is now a trickster in myself, or a liar talking, or is it my main inner part, or whatever? I think that's a very interesting question.
Yes.
Who is answering?
Who's answering?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you can get a clear answer about that. Definitely, you can get a clear answer on that. It's not a theory.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the book is like the 4 parts. Like it's like the theory, and then the questions, how to do it, and then the experienced people that are doing it, and then the results, the corporate results, and then the testimonials, right? And in this, when you do it, this is the most important thing, is that to really understand that as you do it, and once you experience 0, you do not doubt it. Because that's your birthright.
A birthright.
Your birthright.
Geburtsrecht.
Birthright. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the energy that we were born here to live from. Does that make sense? That's the energy we were born here to live from. So when you ask the question, who's answering, and you have a sense of 0, you will get very clear responses. Especially if you're starting to do parts work. Definitely.
I had like different parts which were contradicting, but that's the probably the first step.
Even when you are with parts that are contradicting, you can ask who's answering, even if they're contradicting.
Is a part answering or is the manager answering? Is it you who answers or is it somewhere else? And
Well,
we
yeah,
get
but
the-
we're not talking about parts work right now. Yeah.
Well, what will happen if somebody is not answering the questions honestly, really honestly?
What happens?
What happens there?
They suffer. No clarity.
IBC will not help them.
No. No.
No, but people don't realize that they are not honest. They think they are honest or they show off that they are honest, but they are not.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
They are afraid to be honest.
I agree. Yeah, when we're not honest, it doesn't work. It really doesn't. Because then what are we doing?
Yeah.
What kind of clarity can come from dishonesty?
That brings me to the question, do you have any suggestions how to support ourselves in getting into this really open-hearted, receptive, creative modus operandi?
Well, yes, that's what the book is for. Practice IBC, practice inquiry. But you know that, Natasha.
Yeah, but still the mind kicks in, and especially when we're doing it on our own. That's what I mean. That was when we're in a group, it's fine, and there are companions, and we can relax into this togetherness, airy fairy, and so especially
When we are like in the when we're in the pain of our own experience by ourselves.
and so easily slip out of that really inquiry mode.
Well, you know how I do it. Honestly, I lay down in a couch and breathe and let the pain be without moving.
So first
I
of all,
do
just
not
feel.
escape pain ever. When pain wants me to listen, when the part of me that's in pain wants me to listen, I stop my life and I listen. And I say that literally. I stop my life and I listen to pain. I don't listen to pain while I'm driving. I don't listen, no, I stop and listen.
And when you slip away, you return to listening.
When pain is heard, when the part of you that's in pain is heard, and you can witness why it's in pain until it's done, it stops. And then you experience the peace of God, because all that part wanted was to be heard and witnessed. Not fixed, not coached, not told what to do, but to really say, look, this is how I experienced my life.
So I know this position or this state
Yeah.
when I meditate or when I just sit in silence. I don't even call it meditation. It's just like sitting there breathing and crying, whatever comes.
Yeah.
But as soon as language comes into play, which is what we have in inquiry, sort of it's language, there are words have meanings, there are associations, and then suddenly it's no longer here, it's there again. So this is sort of a distraction when language comes into the equation.
Well, the first thing, you know, there's a concept that, and we talk about it later in the parts work, when is if you are blended with that part. Blended means when a part that's in pain takes the seat of your consciousness, as if you are the part. So let me say that again. Blended means when a part that's in pain takes the seat of your consciousness and you think you are that.
Yeah.
So when you're meditating and you've experienced that, the first question I would say is, are you blended or there's space? Is there a witness for the pain or are you thinking you are the pain?
Oh, then there is the space.
And if there's space, then you hold your zero space and then you listen. But language doesn't matter if it comes. It's just an assumption and an experience of the part.
Yeah, I see that.
And the part will tell you what it is. And you don't have to analyze it, put too much meaning on it. So if I'm a part and you're zero space and I show up crying and telling you how hard it is, and all I tell you, it really, really, really hurts to depend on someone emotionally. Really hurts. It really hurts to make someone your home. You don't have, I mean, you get that, right? You don't have to analyze me. You can say, yeah, I see that. It's super painful.
Makes me curious for parts work.
Yeah. Well, parts work is the next level of, it's inquiry-based coaching is to understand how each of us experiences zero and to sustain it, relax and expand it, and never doubt it when you're in it. It's an incredible tool to also unblend ourselves consistently from the parts of ourselves that take the seat of our consciousness, especially when we're scared or in pain. And then the next level is to support those parts of ourselves that are not integrated in our wholeness. But you cannot get there until you understand what to be unblended feels like and what to be sustaining zero space feels like. And then you can move into the integration with parts work. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You cannot do the parts work, and we do parts work. We don't do IFS at Innerland. We do parts work, and I want to clarify: it's not IFS, it's parts work, because we have our own creation of it, where we don't put the label managers and protectors and all of these things anymore. It's completely different. So yes, it's actually Innerland's version of parts work, inspired in IFS, but it's not IFS. And you should definitely try it, Natasha, because you've been at this for a while. Yeah, get curious. It's another entry point to pain. It's definitely supported me immensely in the last years.
Okay.
And thank you for your question, honestly. Any other questions or comments?
An internal list of questions.
Yes, please.
Which rose about,
Please.
but there, I have to look that it's that there aren't too many. So, I think what you said was waiting 5 minutes is a kind of doing a space. Maybe not a zero space, but a space. And then if you are not under pressure, then you can breathe and think over the possibilities. A few gets wider, and but I have your question lead me to another question. Did you ever experience the person who want to address or want to search for itself, and is honest? If you ask the person, she's really honest. It's not. And could it be that some are not aware that they are not honest? Did you experience that?
Definitely.
Yeah. So it's like a wall. You can't get through when you ask them or feel. And it's a kind of it's totally. Did you experience that? And how do you deal with that?
Well,
that situation.
Yeah, that's a part of. Do you mean like in a conversation or in an immersion or in what context?
Maybe in a coaching. How did you? Maybe someone comes to you and you have the first coach and then the second coaching, and you see there's a kind of wall which the person does not see. Do you? what do you do then?
Well, if I were me, I would tell them my experience.
Mhm.
I would
About?
just tell you,
Also,
like
what
I
you,
would just tell you, it's our second coaching session, and
Mhm.
I really experience you not being honest in your answers.
Mhm. And then the people would, can say, no, I'm really honest.
Mhm. Well, then we would start that process. Like they want me to take you through the steps. Like, why do you think you're honest?
Okay.
What makes you say you're honest? It's always a question. What makes you say you're honest? Why would I be ever experiencing you as dishonest? If that were true, why would I experience you as not being honest? I mean,
Could be judgmental for the coaching.
it's a question. It's a question. The way that we coach at Innerland, the way that I coach at Innerland, is always going to be about really showing up honestly myself. Because if I, as a facilitator, am not honest in my experience, I cannot serve you. So if we're gonna play the game that you're being honest, and I'm gonna play the game that I'm not telling you that I know that you're not being honest, you're gonna waste my time, and I'm gonna waste your time, and you're gonna throw away your money.
Okay, then.
And you're gonna throw away your money because let's pretend that you're being honest, okay? But I know you're not, but I'm not gonna tell you, and you know you're not, but you're not gonna tell you. So how many dollars after are we gonna
And
stay
if the coach
playing the game?
isn't aware that he or she isn't honest. Did you
That's why
experience
you
that?
have to do, yes, that's why they have you
Okay.
to reflect it.
Mhm.
And there's gonna happen two things.
Mhm.
They're never gonna come back,
Mhm.
or they're gonna be
Yeah.
interested.
Okay.
And I always prefer they never come back,
Yeah.
or they show up,
Mhm.
honestly.
Mhm.
Because I have no time to waste, and it's a waste of their money and my time.
Mhm.
It's just
Thank you.
clarity, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, what did you experience? Are people more honest when they are doing one-on-one with you or in a group?
People, you mean in the thousands and thousands of people that
Yeah.
I've worked with?
Percentage of.
In my groups,
Yeah.
the circles that I create, in my experience, create both honesty in the circle and on one-on-ones. That's my experience, but you would have to ask people that are in my circles, like Romy or Coco or, you know, or Natasha once. But yeah, you create the environment for honesty. The only way that the way that I believe that honesty is that I show up honest. And that's an invitation, because people that want to be in this kind of work, I mean, it doesn't make sense to just show up to pretend, no? Like, do you want to grow or not?
Yeah, I experience at all in life, like people are attracted to honesty. They are attracted to it.
Definitely. Definitely.
But why don't they want to be honest?
Yeah, definitely.
And it was that way, the way I experienced it. People who were not honest, and Tania addressed the questions. There was a deep process, and they opened up, and we were all blown away. Or others, they stopped after one immersion. Or sometimes also before. So that's what happened, nothing else. What I experienced in my immersions.
I mean, it's an exciting process, but tell me something. Why is this question so important to you? Are you not being honest in your facilitation?
No, yes.
You're not.
Yes,
Yes.
I am not being honest.
I get that.
And I told Marcus I cannot open up. I am a person that everybody opens up with me because I'm honest in life, really. But in this IBC process, I cannot open up.
Yes, I'm seeing that.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that as well. I can see that this is an issue for you.
Yeah,
So,
this
well,
is an issue.
okay, so I invite you to go deeper. Yeah, we can work on that.
I don't know, yeah, why you didn't told me things, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
because it's
I'm
a
not so
it's-
much interested in the
There's a lot of fear.
conscious, you know,
Yeah.
I'm not so much interested in the conscious dishonesty. I'm interested in the not being, that's what we had a theme also, in the not genuinity, led by some complexes or whatever. And that's what I mean. And I think IBC is a chance to get to the genuinity. That you're not led by something you think you are or whatever. And that, I meant that by I wanted to say that with the not being honest, not the conscious, but the subconscious way of being something else than what you genuinely are.
Mm-hmm.
That's what and I think that's
Mm-hmm.
our way, what we have,
Yes.
which makes you free to find really the genuine
Definitely.
honesty.
Well, definitely, and the genuine honesty also changes from challenge to challenge, right?
Right.
Depending on what you're going through your life
Yes.
and what parts are triggered.
And I think it's also an immature way. When you're very young, you think I have to be like this or I have to be like this. And when you have experience and lived pain, I think you get also
But we all always,
more.
but it's always
Yeah.
going back to the fear. You know, what are you afraid of? What are you really afraid of? Why are you so afraid of being honest? You know, you don't have to answer. But really, why are you I don't want to answer. Like, what are you so afraid to being honest? Why are you so? Why honesty scares you so much? Why?
Not honesty, the opening up. I am honest about myself, not able.
Well, why
Not
does
being
it
able to
scare you?
open
So
up.
the question is then, why does it scare you so much to open up?
I don't know what
Well,
we'll
see, you're
find
answering
there.
too fast.
Yeah.
Why are you so scared to open up? Why are you so scared?
Too
Are
fast.
you? No,
Because I know. I
anyway.
thought about it a lot already.
But have you thought about it with the spirit of inquiry and in the inquiry-based question setting, you know, to really, really sit with it? And the first thing I know that you haven't sat with it is because you answered quickly right now. So that tells me immediately you've never done inquiry on this. Because exactly. So that's the important thing to say. Am I curious? Like, is this really something interesting to me? Why do I have so much trouble? Is this interesting? To check it out. You can say yes or no. Any more comments, questions?
Just
Yeah, I
noticed
think-
I really joined into that thing because I was listening and said, that's me too.
Honesty for me is also subjective. I mean, this absolutely honesty, it's like a secret and it's very difficult. I mean, this is like a trigger or a mirror around us. What we see from the other, it's in ourselves always. And yes, if I, for example, found somebody's not honest or something, then I have to ask myself first why I think about the other person, about this this problem. Then I have to see myself first. So these are the strict rules.
Yeah, I think
It's hard to say, but
no, I think we know when we lie to ourselves, no? Like you were saying, the honesty in our, I think we know when we are aligned with our truth and when we're not. In my experience.
And that's the point I didn't ask about the honesty which you realize or you think of,
Yeah.
and not the honesty to maybe it's scary to let information flow about me. I think about this if you really can't see anything, so it's you are not honest. For an example, and if you ask me, then I would say no, there's no problem. Is everything okay? Could it be a kind of drama which shuts you up, where you
Fear.
don't, but you don't realize it?
Yeah.
That's my thing. Did you have some clients with which was in such a situation? And then
Yes,
they maybe never come.
yeah.
They
But you
leave,
follow the breadcrumbs of pain.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
You know what?
Because when you're not aligned and when you're not really living interaction, there's gonna be pain. So if I tell you everything is great and you tell me that and it feels like I'm giving you dishonest answers, then
not knowing that there are
not knowing that there's honest
Yeah,
answers, you can just follow my trail of pain.
Okay.
Okay, so what's hurting you? And you know,
Okay.
pain
Oh,
leads you
yeah.
to
Good point.
really
Thank you.
to follow, you know, what
Mhm.
is there.
That's why I put sometimes my pain, for example, it's like a identification with this. I put it here, I say use it here, it's not my thing like this. No, because this is like a help, like the mother of myself. It's like for a human, we need sometimes such tricks or some system or technique to understand better, to let it go.
Yeah,
Yes,
for me,
it's
the
not
technique
easy.
that I use is different because when I'm in pain, this is all lived experience, right? I cannot just tell my pain, oh, this would be amazing if you could just sit there. I mean, maybe I could do it for 5 minutes. But the technique that I use is what I shared a little bit with Natasha and doing the IBC, is to really separate from the part that's in pain. But not not just imaginatively.
But this is more symbol, of course, because you know something also happened when, for example, when I sing, I easily some days I easily identify with a problem. I felt guilty that I have such easy to do that, and I think there's a lot of people do because they think, oh, I'm so superficial that I can let it go so quick. And I mean, I think it's not a problem if you can do that. But you feel as a human that you feel guilty maybe when you can do it easily. Sometimes I don't can, and sometimes I can. And also I had a lot, I speak about something I didn't have an easy life. So it depends what you have experienced, but I really have very extreme experience. That's why how you say the same, I speak from my experience, it's not a theory.
Good.
But I don't know, maybe it's because the life teaching me extremely. Sometimes the life comes and teach you when you're not open enough to teach yourself or something.
Totally.
Yes, the best teacher was my son, or is my son, for example. If you, it's like a theme or like a history or like a work. Yes.
Definitely. I agree.
I think the problem with the IBC is that it helps even if you are not honest.
Why is it a problem if it helps?
Because
It's no
it will
problem.
help a little bit, but you will not really solve the problem, you know?
And then that's a kind of perfectionist.
It's like giving you the illusion that you are
Aha,
solving
really?
something, you know,
Okay.
it's getting better a little bit,
Okay.
but you are not getting there, you know?
Yes, I think. Thank you for saying that because that's something I would never say myself. I'm very happy you say that. Thank you. Definitely. Yes, it is because the questions are designed to even trick the trickster.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah, trick the trickster.
Mm.
Definitely. Any more questions? If you would like also a book, there's some books here for sale that you can take a copy with you. I'm happy to do some book signing. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so I think, I thank you so much for coming. Truly, honestly, thank you for coming. And we'll have your emails that we can send you events, information and questions, and things that are interesting for you perhaps to join us at. And yeah, welcome to a copy. How much are the books, Martin?
20 Swiss francs.
20 Swiss francs. Wonderful. Well, thank you.
And
thank
you will sign them.
I will sign them, yes.
Thank you very much.